Welcome to Breaking Biscuits, the experience. Mark, today we have an amazing story you do not want to miss. Whatever you do, don't click out. The name of this episode is Kris' Life-Changing Kidney Journey, a story about the true meaning of friendship. Mark, you and I met Kris, it was about a year ago, last June, and then we had the pleasure a few days ago meeting with him and Matt. Kris is in need of a kidney, and Matt is his donor. Um, we're doing this to meet some extraordinary needs for both families. At the end of the show, we're going to share how to enter to win a chance to win a 4-night luxury stay on Table Rock Lake in Branson, Missouri. The approximate value of this stay is $3,500. It's an amazing location, sleeps 14 people. So, Mark, if you would, set the video up for our listeners.
Yeah, we had a chance to talk to Kris. We met Kris at our Breaking Biscuits event because in Branson, they were a couple that came in and their marriage was in crisis. And they came in, but when they left, they were in a really good place, and they've continued to blossom and grow from the tools and the things they learned at Breaking Biscuits. And at Breaking Biscuits, we are really big on vulnerability and transparency and telling our story. And so that was the most important factors. And so this is a story of because of vulnerability, because of stepping out, it led to transformation and ultimately restoration. And this is a story you don't want to miss. There were some technical difficulties, and we realized that, but we want the listeners to listen all the way through because the story was too compelling to stop. So now let's just go interview Kris and let's hear his story. There's a power of telling your story, not only for overcoming your own stuff, as we've learned, but also for inspiration of others, give them courage to tell theirs. And I met Kris at our first Breaking Biscuits event in last June. Prior to Breaking Biscuits event, Kris, where were you at in life? What was going on with you?
So February of 2024. Had a great job. Found out I was going to need a kidney transplant or something. You know, I'm a badass. So I said, well, I guess we'll deal with it when it gets here. Well, come March, my kidneys went from roughly 30% functioning to 11% functioning. Quit my job, and we started the process of getting put on the kidney transplant list through KU Med in Kansas City. So March, I went up for my initial evaluation. But anywho, I started working on my list, and it just seemed that every step I complete, another one was added. And I was, man, I'm never gonna get on this list. I'll die before I even have a chance. But I kept going. I'd said, just kept adding, kept adding. So I'm there. I'm getting bummed. Month after month, I'm still not getting on the list. Basically, I'm dying, and I basically become just the world's biggest asshole. Got so bad, my wife about left me. There's days I'd sit there and I'd just be like, maybe it'd be better if I was dead. And then, I got my 2 daughters, so that really wasn't an option. But every other day, it was, man, maybe. It's like, Lord, maybe you should just bring me home. Well, so like I said, I was just miserable. I was sitting in church, and at this point, I wasn't a regular churchgoer. I believed in God, but I wasn't there. And then it was one Sunday in church. Little old Michael came over to Faye and said, "Hey, my mom wants to talk to you after church." And so I was like, "Okay." So she went and talked to Mara. It was actually before church got over, and was like, "Hey, Mara and Toby are offering to let you guys go to this weekend couples deal called Breaking Biscuits." And I was like, man, I love my wife, but do I really want to do this? And I was like, I got to the point, I was like, well, nothing else I'm doing is working. I'm miserable. So let's go. I can fake it till I make it, Well, I get to Breaking Biscuits, and I'm sitting there, and there's 3 other couples, and then there's Toby, Mara, and Mark, and his wife, and I don't know, something hit me. I was like, just do it, man. Don't fake it. Just do it. And all of a sudden, everything felt lighter. Then it's probably one of the greatest things I've ever accomplished is going and actually doing it. So I highly recommend it, by the way. But then, so after that, I'm waiting. And then August 21st of 2024, that was my 44th birthday, I started dialysis. For those that don't know, dialysis, it's a mother. It sucks. It kills you. It does. So I'm going through this, and I'm still haven't heard anything about being on a transplant list. So I'm like, okay, I'll just do this until I hear something. I get a phone call from the transplant team, and it's my transplant coordinator, and she's like, when are you going to start your list of things that you need to do? And I was like, what are you talking about? I've completed everything. They had lost all my records.
Wow.
So I went from being high to back low again. Well, luckily, a week went by, they found everything. So my spirits were up. I did. I'm still waiting to hear. And at this point, you know, I'm starting to become a regular at church. And for those who don't know, at our church, they go through and they do prayer requests, praise reports. And my wife, Faye, she was always like, let me ask the church for prayers for you. And I'm like, no, it's not their business. I don't want it. It's my business. I don't want anybody to know. I'll do this. Well, still heard nothing. So finally, I was just like, F it. Tell them. I've tried everything else. It's not working. Let's try it. So Faye asked for prayers, and obviously it worked, because shortly after that, Faye told me that Matt had talked to her and said he was going to get tested to be a donor. And I'm like, that's awesome, but what's the chances, in Matt's own words, me and this ginger ain't going to match. And so I'm sitting and, you know, I'm waiting, and Matt went through a long process and I never heard anything. Well, finally, I got put on the transplant list. And so I'm happy. I'm like, all right. Still haven't heard anything from, you know, what's going on with Matt and all this. So they told me once I got on the transplant list that it would be, for this area and my blood type, it would probably be a 3.5, 4-year wait before I would get a call for a kidney. And I was like, well, that sucks. I don't want to do dialysis for 4 years. So went back to, man, I don't know. This is rough. I'll keep fighting. Found out that Matt and I were a perfect match. And Matt's what give me his kidney. And Matt, sorry. Matt saved my life. I couldn't do this for 4 years. I'm not. Yeah, I couldn't. I know I couldn't. is miserable. It's not just how dialysis makes me feel. I haven't worked in over a year. I can't provide, and Matt has knocked that from 4 years to me and being able to go back to work to hopefully within the next year I'll be working. I'll be providing. Yeah, there's nothing I could ever say or do to repay Matt. I mean, just the simple fact that, you know, I've known Matt. I wouldn't say we were friends where we would call each other, but I mean, you know, we knew each other. I knew him as that's his brother. And to put it in perspective, Matt did something that no one in my family's done. No one offered to get tested. I mean, it's more than I could ask that Matt even got tested. But for him to find out where I'm at, and for him to continue to be willing to do this for me, it's just I have no words. I can't. I will never be able to repay him. There's nothing I can say or do that'll ever let him know how much it means to me. He gave my daughters their father for longer. Me and my wife were the best we've ever been. He gave her husband. Matt's not my friend, it's my family.
We want to talk a little bit about the giveaway that we're going to do for these two families. You heard both the kind of ladies describe some of the needs that are out there. They're honestly just overwhelming, massive. There's men that can't work for extended period of time, care that's needed. It goes on and on and on. And what happened, and the reason you and I are here, is Breaking Biscuits, which is a nonprofit you and I are a part of, decided to donate a 4-night stay in this amazing condo. It's not really a condo, it's a lodge in Branson, Missouri. It sleeps 14 people. It is just an amazing place to be, an amazing location, amazing amenities, and all the like. So we're gonna do a giveaway, and you'll see in the link below where you can click and be able to buy some tickets for the giveaway and give a chance to win. Our goal is to sell 1,000 tickets, and it's a lofty goal, but I think we can do it. And we just want to take 45 seconds, so don't click out. Here is a picture and a video of the actual property that you will be staying at if you win. So thanks everybody once again for joining us on Breaking Biscuits, and we look forward to seeing you next time.